Yo,
Hey,
sick background still.
welcome. I know that Legion.
You just love it.
Welcome to the New Meta, episode 57.
Yeah. 57.
I'm the Pete. My name is ThaPChild.
I'm Lord Fluffy.
So, not a lot of Diablo content this week, man. We did
Yeah.
get a little news. DiabloFans is back, man. That's pretty awesome.
Dude, that's Pog. That's insane.
pretty cool.
We'll just jump into that one.
Pretty damn cool. Kind of just jumping ahead though. Do you want to hit the polls from next week or last week?
Yeah. So last week, we asked the question, on average, how long do you play every season? If you guys want to still vote at that last second, there it is. 2 to 3 days, 1 to 2 weeks, a month, all 3 months. What do you, I mean, you're a streamer, so we don't count.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the average is going to be I'm gonna say a month. I'm gonna go with a month.
Okay. I'm going to say 1 to 2 weeks. I mean, I play most, but I'm just going to see your votes. I'm not even going to vote because I don't count, really, in this one.
All right, let's see.
A month, 40% of the vote, followed by 29% of the vote being a 1 to 2 weeks. All 3 months actually has 24% of the vote. And 2 to 3 days has 7%. That's surprising.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you look at Twitch.
I wonder if we would have done.
Seems like 2 to 3 days.
Done like till my seasonal journey's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which can vary depending on
how much time
the
you
season
have
and the power.
Right. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
It is.
I would agree with that. I mean, how long is this season? This season's been a month. This Friday, right? When did it start? The season started the 17th, if I remember correctly. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, a month and a day.
It'll be 5 weeks this Friday, so
Okay.
it's been a little over a month. So yeah, interesting. And then the question that we had for next week is seasonal themes. If your trend continues, what would you want?
Right. So if we continue to get like something for free, like some kind of equipable item for free, whatever it is for free, what would you want? Assuming these are kind of what's left, really. And I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but these kind of seem like the easiest ones to knock out. So 1, a season of COE, season of Bastions of Will, which if you guys don't know, is the Focus and Restraint rings. Season of Endless Walk, which again, if you guys don't know, is the Traveler's Pledge, Compass Rose, the Necklace Ring combo. And then the season of the class weapon sets. That's like Bull Kathos for the Barb. That's, Jesseth for the Necro, etc., etc.
Right.
Which
Very interesting.
these would be, 3 of them would be okay. But I hope we're gonna see something next season that's just different, totally different. They're gonna just strike us out of the blue. I feel like. What do you think?
I agree. I think we're gonna get
Something different.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get something new. I really hope so. I hope that there is some internal testing going on with some various things and fixes that will get us. Like my thing. I think we're gonna eventually, hopefully, get new items introduced. Like, did you like when they used to do? Specific items were only in the season. Remember when they would start the seasons off and they'd make a new item, and that season you could only get it in the season.
Yeah,
and then when that season was over, they would roll it out to everybody.
Right,
if you
to
didn't play
non-season,
season.
right.
Yeah, and I like that personally. I thought it was a great reason to keep us playing season. So I hope they go back to that.
Yeah.
And I think they could start that with just throw some new legendary gems. I would think legendary gems are probably one of the easier items to make, but
You think?
I don't know. Maybe not.
I mean, I guess because it is like cross class.
Yeah, you could maybe throw 1 or 2 new gems in, and then you're covering your bases. Everybody's going to get something new, a new toy. Although I don't think that's super great content. I mean,
Right.
it's something that'd be awesome to have.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if this season was just like, hey, check out this
Yeah.
new gem.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, like a couple new gems. I is it enough? You know, like I feel like you'd have to really like throw in like a dozen to make it like, wow, this season's this is different. You know,
This is legit.
right?
Yeah.
This really mixes things up. But even still, you know, I think they just got to add something. Like for like
I'm
so
past.
PoE this league,
Go ahead.
they have this like this thing called the incubator, which is literally just like a consumable that you put onto a piece of gear that like after you get X amount of kills, it like drops something. Like that seems like a really simple, easy thing to do.
It's like a Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Thing.
So I don't know, you know, at the very least, like
Right.
that wouldn't be game breaking, but at least it's like more. So I don't know. There's got to be some really easy, quick wins.
I'm kind of wanting more at this point than just rebalance numbers and new items. Like we honestly need new activities. That's the genuine content fix that we really need.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're ever gonna get that though.
Yeah.
I mean, if they throw in some new, like let's just say they did a class set for every single, every class next season. It's like, you know, everybody gets one new set of gear. All right, cool. How, you know, so Chantotos is super new this season. Like that's a new thing. Like we've never really played it in this form before. But it's like already, you know, at a month in, I'm like, all right, this is cool. But next season, you know, it's going to be a thing. And an example, like last season, I played Invoker for the first time when they rebuffed that. And by the end of the season, I was like, okay, I'm super done with this. You know? So a new class set, I think, would have the same effect as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's with time and time again, we say like Risk Getter is such a great base.
Yeah.
It would be
we
just
need
so
another
great
activity.
to add on top of that. That'd be just fantastic.
What, you know, like they need something that you could go play that would enhance your Rift, maybe. Like, but bounties aren't fun to me. And like, and bounties, I guess you would consider in-game activity.
Sure, of course.
But I don't think they're that fun. Like
Sure.
if you're like you know, we're gonna introduce a new thing and it's just like doing bounties, but it's, you know, slightly different. I'd be like, oh man, this.
But imagine there's like 12 different things to do, and you're like, you know what, man, I need some bounties, and you haven't done it like forever, right? Like you only do it like maybe once every couple of weeks or something. Like it wouldn't be that bad.
Right.
It'd be like, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm with you. In-game activities for sure.
Yeah. PoE has stolen so much from Diablo. Let's steal back. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Rip it off.
Yeah.
Diablo fans is back, boys.
Yes.
Let's get into this D fans.
That's amazing. So, you know, I don't know all the details because I have like a ton of time to catch up, but it just kind of sounds like, hey, someone's like, you know what? We can pick this back up, no problem. Because to me, like, and we've talked about it before, but it's like, how expensive can it be to run this website, and how could it not be profitable? So I'm so excited to see it come back, even if it's not profitable. Whoever took it over, I thank you so much. You know, I actually have to get my new builds on here that I've created since. You know, I need to get it going, but it's so great to see it back.
And they have so I have my ad blocker off on this just to see. Like they have some really clean cut Amazon ads at the top to help.
Really?
I'm assuming that's how they're supporting it.
Yeah.
And it looks good, man. Like they have sponsored content and things like, you know, throughout. So I don't remember seeing ads on DiabloFans before like this. Maybe there was, and
There was,
you know, just didn't notice.
But they weren't
it looks
clean.
clean.
They weren't
It
clean.
looks
Yeah.
it looks really clean and polished up. So
Run smooth.
so
That's all you can
yeah,
hope for.
I haven't made a build. I'm curious if some of the bugs.
Yeah,
with
like the stuff disappearing
the
from your
builds.
builds. Yeah, I wonder if that's still a thing. And I
like,
wonder,
like I would save a build and people would be like, why did you put on, like I had a wizard build that had a necro item one time.
yeah,
And they're like, why did you? And I'm like, it doesn't. You use this. And they're like,
Right.
no, look at it. I went and looked at it, and I saved it, and that shit was still
Yeah.
wrong. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, what is going on, man?
I had like just an invisible Leoric's crown on one of my builds. It would just like delete itself every season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
And I also
hopefully
wonder
they got
if
some of those bugs
they're
worked
gonna like, because I don't know if you experienced this, but like for a really long time there would be like, you know, pornographic bots just like commenting on every single build for days.
I didn't notice that,
Yeah.
but I believe it.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
Now I know they have like the verification now, so you have to have like a Twitch, I think, to even log in. I don't even know. is
It
good.
used to. I don't know what it is now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think they brought it back.
Interesting. Interesting. I do have it pulled up right now, though. I'm just curious. I haven't. You're with just like you, man. I gotta go get some builds in
I
there.
know, right?
Like my T16 builds and stuff. I don't have them, so
I will say, like,
maybe.
this is like, I didn't like lament too much before, but like it was a big deal losing Diablo fans. Like,
Yeah.
it was kind of like, wow, like, is the game that we're playing, is it really like that dead that like our main website like goes down? Like it just was,
It was
so
morally crushing.
It was
Yeah,
really crushing.
it killed morale.
Yeah.
It killed a good resource. Like people are like, "Yo, so where do we get builds now?" And I'm like, "I guess
D3 plan.
YouTube."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
YouTube,
it was,
and then
and it was
D3
this
Planet.
whole beginning of last season where we're like D3 Planet crashed, and then it was like, oh, go pause the video, and it's just like that feels so bad to even say that, But like, what else can we? It was no good. So I'm stoked for it to be back.
Yeah, I'm glad it's there. It was definitely missed, and I
Yeah.
think the community in general was super happy. So I hope that the new ownership team makes enough money on this to at least
Just
break
keep it
even.
going,
to
right?
Yeah, to keep it running.
Hopefully make a little
So,
money on the side.
yeah, that's awesome for them though.
Yeah.
So,
I'm curious what they're gonna do too, because it seems like they're gonna like, post stuff. So like I'm curious to see how that's gonna develop, and
yeah, I didn't get to keep up with it 100%.
Right.
I didn't see that they're gonna actually like try to
yeah,
post news and content.
and feature people hopefully. So we'll see. I
Awesome.
mean, Diablo itself, if you look on their Twitter, they've
Yeah.
been pumping it out lately. I
Yeah,
gotta
they're
say,
trying.
like, that's pretty. Like,
You think they hired some? You think they hired some new people?
I think they watched the podcast. No, I mean, it's just like, it's so good. Like, this is the best kind of like community interaction you could possibly do, and like featuring people's builds. Like they featured what, SVR today.
Yeah, yeah. And they had Daddy
yeah.
on there not too long ago.
Hell yeah, SVR, get it. But
So
that's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
So
I like it.
keep it up, Diablo. What's that?
Yeah, it makes me wonder. Like somebody's got to be in the back putting those builds together, like that little video, unless they have some kind of software that'll automate that
Right.
for them. But it looks like somebody's actually taking some time to edit
Right.
and do that. So like cool.
Yeah. This has popped up again, kind of all
So
over Reddit.
nice, man.
We've kind of touched on this before, but like, whatever happened to PvP? Because
I don't know, man.
this actually looked pretty good, like back in the day. A lot of you guys don't remember this. Like, there was like this. I don't even remember what event this was at. This was at some kind of event. I don't know if it was BlizzCon or something, but like they had like some competitive 2v2, 3v3 PvP going on. It was just
Yeah,
in the Magna
that looks
map.
fun. Like I
Yeah.
would do that.
For
100%.
sure.
I would do that. I would be down.
Yeah.
So, and I'm actually watching this video again. I haven't seen this. Has to have been from like 2012 or 13. Like when
Yeah.
maybe
this
even
is
older
old.
than that.
This is so old.
This is old footage, but it's clearly Diablo 3. I mean,
Right.
it's the Diablo 3 that was same interface, same graphics, and it looks good, man. The Wizards just going ham with the Ray.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They could pull it off. They could do normalized stats,
Sure, of
normalized
course.
damage, and then you're obviously going to have to spend time retweaking every ability.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the game engine would handle that. Maybe it's a memory issue. You know,
Right.
would you lose that extra stash tab for some PvP?
Oh my god, I'd lose like half of them for some PvP. It'd just be like it. I think Dota being this such like popular thing, and it's obviously it's not necessarily isometric, but it is like very much like that. I think that it would get a like kind of a new audience if they could do it well. And I mean, Blizzard can do PvP. Like we all know they can do
Right.
PvP.
They got Overwatch. They got
Yeah.
StarCraft. They got teams to Arena and WoW, RBGs. Like they got people to
Right. And they did
tomorrow.
bring over, was it Heroes of the Storm guy? Like the PvP Heroes of the Storm guy? He's going to be working on the unannounced Diablo project. So hopefully it's something they're already looking at.
It's gonna be Diablo BR.
Yeah, I just want to point out that the witch doctors like cannot stop getting wrecked. But, whatever.
It was the player. It was the player.
Yeah.
Which doctor is most OP? It's got the highest skill cap in the game.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't know. It would be cool to get some PvP. I even try to get people to. You can't get people to click on you to go to the brawling area in Diablo. I used to try to get my friends to like go to the brawling area and then you could kill them.
Wow.
And
Toxic.
I swear you used to be able to get body parts off of people in Diablo 3, but everybody tells me that was Diablo 2 where we did that. But I want to swear back in vanilla, if you went to the brawling area and you fought somebody and killed them, that it would drop like an ear or like, a body part of that person's name.
Sure.
So I wanted to collect body parts of my friends.
Toxic, dude.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah, you just like
Do it.
party up with them like a year later, like, hey, I still got your arm.
Yeah, you're just you log in clan chat every day.
Yeah, every day it's like a little
Link it.
Lord Fluffy's head.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that'd be pretty
Lord
fun.
Fluffy's foot. Just like here you
My
go.
lucky charm.
So we started a segment last week,
Yeah,
unless you got more on the PvP.
No.
Or I guess it was 2 weeks ago.
it was a couple weeks ago. We skipped it last week because there's some juice to talk about. So it's a segment we like to kind of examine either skill, weapon, armor, set, whatever, and talk about ways you can maybe make it better, ways that, in its current state, maybe it's not that great, or just ideas, right? And so I wanted to talk about 3 skills in general. And the reason I picked these 3 skills, and maybe you'll see why after we start to talk about it. But so I'm picking Ray of Frost,
Yeah.
Arcane Torrent, Disintegrate. Now, out of the box, they're all channeled abilities, right? Like they're,
Yep.
and so like you look at the runes, and we kind of touched on this before, but like runes that kind of like massively overhaul how the skill works, we weren't crazy about. And I don't know what like the solution is too, because it's like the way PoE does it is pretty cool. Like, so say you have like Ray of Frost, right? And then you could pick, well, I want Black Ice, and then you link it, and then you're like, well, I want Cold Blood too, and so you like link it with that. And so like effectively you can get quite a bit of them so that everything gets used in a way, I guess, which is nice. But then like if you're talking PoE, you have like 50, 100, 50,000 like runes to choose from, and so
Different
there's
runes.
always gonna be a meta. So like I'm not sure like what the best way to attack some of these are, so that the worst thing that can happen in the next iteration of Diablo to me is all these unused skills. Like the skills
Yeah.
just like never gonna use. And I'm not saying like, oh well, it's that 1%, 5% better. I can deal with that. Like we can all deal with that. Like, oh, I want to play poison. Well, it's not as good as cold. Well, it's only like 5% damage, right? Like
It still works.
Right.
Right.
So, but when in terms of Diablo, there's usually like just a blatant winner as far as damage.
And see,
is
like
concerned.
runes to me don't even. All it does is pick your element. I mean, some
That's
skills,
I mean,
like
seemingly it should.
are all physical, but
Yeah.
it's like, if you're looking at these runes, you're like, well, I need cold damage, so I have to pick this rune,
Right.
or I need arcane damage, I have to pick this rune, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be. I would like the base skill to be kind of what it is, what the intent of the skill is, and then you can maybe modify it to whatever damage type you need, maybe by a rune or some other new item, and then pick some kind of game changing, whether it's an item. Like I kind of feel like the equipment should change what it does, not necessarily the rune, because
Sure.
some of the runes are so drastic. And
Right.
the example that comes to mind instantly to me is rapid fire for demon hunters, and then you have the grenade rune where it just launches grenades.
Sure.
It's like that's not even really the same skill at that point,
Right.
So it's like, I don't know.
But yeah, just looking at Ray of Frost. So Ray of Frost itself, if you guys don't know, it's basically it's a channel ability. So you stand in place, and you just basically cast out a blue laser in front of you, which, if you guys don't know, is literally almost exactly the same as Disintegrate, except for it's red. But yeah, so you stand in place, you channel, and you do a beam of frozen ice that blasts enemies in 5 yards. For 430 weapon damage, it's cold and slows their movement, which is nice. Ray of Frost is increased every second. The damage goes up every second up to a maximum total of blank, right? And then looking at the runes, you can reduce the channeling cost. You get 10% chance to freeze enemies for 1 second and increase the slow amount, which is these two so far. It's like these aren't game breaking, but they're choices. Black Ice, enemies killed by Ray of Frost leave a patch of ground that deals 1625 weapon damage. Is cold. Again, not too game breaking. I'm fine with these runes kind of so far. Next, create a swirling storm around you that grows to 22 yards, dealing 300% damage as cold to all enemies caught within it. Ray of Frost damage is increased to 220 every second. So this is like, this to me is like what you said. Like this should probably be on an item because this like totally changes it, like 100%. Right. And finally, Snow Blast. Enemies hit by Ray of Frost take 15% increased damage from cold for 4 seconds, which is probably, just a straight damage mod is usually the best choice. So I hate stuff like that. Where we just get like, oh, it's X% more damage. It's kind of like, well, that's kind of lazy content.
I agree. And it's like, well, we got to have 6 runes for every skill, guys. Let's think of some ideas. Let's think of some things.
Yeah, and so you kind of see this repeating itself. So if you go to Arcane Torrent, stand in place, hurl barrage. Every second, the damage goes up to a maximum of blank. So it's literally like a clone to the skill. And then looking at the runes, you take 15% less damage from checks while channeling. Every second you channel, it goes up. Okay, so you get defense instead of damage as you channel. Great. Unleash a torrent of power by under control. You no longer affect projectiles, but their damage is greatly increased. So more damage. That should probably be on an item. Mines, which is interesting. Lay mines after 2 seconds, or arm after 2 seconds to explode, dealing blank damage. That's a pretty significant change. So, that's a pretty good item thing for that. Each missile explodes 2 piercing bolts. Again, that's a pretty big change. And it cascades enemies hit by...
I've never used mines.
Yeah.
Ever.
No, exactly. But it could be cool. Like, I honestly don't even know what these look like. Like, I should
That's what I'm saying. That's literally the thought that was going through my head. I was like, I've never even used that. I don't even know what they look like.
Right.
I don't know how they're going to work.
And enemies hit by Arcane Torrent have a 12% chance to fire a new missile, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, I like skills.
I think they could prune a lot of these things. They have 6 runes for every skill. And it's like, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't need that many. Maybe you change them in a different way. Change them with gear. Change them with like a rune that's more like a gem that you socket into something, and maybe we don't have 6 because there's so many insignificant ones that don't matter.
Or maybe we just start to pick multiple runes. Like maybe we just get rid of this whole like, oh, you have to pick one and that's it.
Right.
Maybe we start to use like 3 of the 5 or maybe that's like a seasonal theme, or maybe that's built onto an item.
You get like talent points or skill points or rune points, whatever you want to call it, and you can select so many runes total on your character. So, given you have your, what do you got? 6 abilities.
Right.
Let's say that you get 10 rune points to spend upon your 6 abilities. Something. I mean, that would make some really broken builds, and people would probably dump all of their runes into one ability, but it could be interesting.
There's the mine.
Okay.
For you
guys are listening, there's a.
We're just checking these skills. Actually,
are they going to blow up eventually?
I think they'd have to be triggered, right?
Okay.
By like a bad guy.
Yeah.
But I've just never seen these at all.
I don't think I have either, honestly. That should be the poll.
I'm not
week.
sure I've seen
ever used arcane mines.
What was it? The one that gives you something around you? Storm? I'm not sure I've seen this either. Yeah. I don't think I've seen that. Have you?
No.
Yeah.
Does it keep growing? How big is it?
Yeah. About right there.
There you go.
That's pretty cool. Like, these skills, man. It's just like.
Yeah. How big does it say that radius gets?
22?
22. So that's a representation of 22 yards in the game. If you guys wanted to know what 22 yards looks like.
Right. And then last, the skill, Disintegrate, which is probably my favorite of the 3. I've always been like a big Disintegrate fan, even though there's never really been like a pod.
That's like Cyclops beam to me. It looks so cool.
Exactly.
I've always been in love with it because I'm like, I'm Cyclops.
Yeah. But again, damage increase every second to a maximum. So like all these 3 skills, and the reason I picked these 3 skills is like they're essentially kind of runes of each other. Like it's not
Right.
even that these need to be different skills. Like these could all
Yeah.
be combined.
You could have had runes do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But for disintegrate, you got increase the width of the beam, which
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
mean,
kind of cool.
yeah,
It's like double beam.
double beam, which is pretty like build defining. So that again, that we fall into that range. Beam has a chance, 35% chance to cause explode, causing 750% damage to all enemies with 8 yards. So like every single time you kill something, they'll explode, which is pretty cool. I actually really like I've seen that effect in like other games. It's been pretty pog. I like when shit explodes when it dies. It's pretty nice, especially when it deals like splash damage. But anytime I see
never
that,
seen it.
I think lag. Like I just immediately think lag.
Yeah. I've never seen entropy before.
There you go. Lost my
I
skill.
don't think I've ever used it.
Short
I'm looking
range
over
cone.
at
Yeah,
these
you know what?
now.
I don't think I have either. So basically, this
Right.
fractions is a short range cone that deals 435, disintegrate damage, increase blah blah. It's the same as it did before.
Let's
Yeah,
see what it looks
never
like.
seen that. It's like a
Oh, wow.
claw. That looks pretty sweet too.
Yeah. It does look cool, man.
So like,
See, like those short range ones should have just ridiculous damage or something on
Right.
them if it's gonna. I don't know, but like this. But this is true of the entire game.
Right.
There are so many runes and skills that you never look at and never use, and you don't even realize it.
right, that they're
Until
there.
you start going through them like this, and I'm like, a cone. I've never seen a disintegrate cone. Let's
Nope.
check that out.
Sure.
You know?
It's almost like a giant claw.
It does look like a claw. It's
Yeah.
really cool, actually.
I know. See,
Cool animation.
Blizzard, like, you know, what they could
Like,
do
you
is
could just
revive one of
Invert
these
that
skills.
and give me
right.
wings. Like if you made that into wings, just
Shit.
put that on my back, flip it over. There you go, man.
You could have a season where you like buff that skill and like people make a build out of it. Something. But yeah, it's
Yep,
just
yep.
it's a shame that like so I've been like you've been playing crazy long time. I've been playing a crazy long time. And neither of
Yep.
us could be like we
existence.
don't know what these are. Like it's just crazy to me. Like to me that just screams like okay, there's a problem there. There's a big time problem there. Hopefully in the next iteration or hopefully maybe in a future patch even we could see some resolution to some of that.
But I kind of agree. It kind of feels to me like they were like, we need more wizard skills. We need more things. And they're like, well, let's just take this ray of frost and we'll make it red and we'll call
Right.
it disintegrate.
Yeah.
And then we'll make another one and we'll have it be lightning and we'll call it
Torrent, right?
whatever, arcane torrent. And then that's 12, or whatever, 18 different runes
Sure.
that we have for basically essentially one ability.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Um,
You know,
when
what
that
I think
probably
of,
could have been covered in one.
what do you think of when you see this like blue beam? Does it remind you of anything?
It looks like ice to me. The storm from X-Men. But
Do you remember like this was like one of the more pog, like the only pog moment of BlizzCon? Remember when he shot the ice crystal with his frozen beam?
Oh yeah.
And the ice crystal like ricocheted all
it
his
blew
beam.
up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like that's what I think.
Shattered it.
I'm like,
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. It's
Like
the-
skill synergy like
Right.
that doesn't really exist in this game.
It was
That's
so
something that-
weird because there was like those moments were like the only moments I can remember at BlizzCon where people are like, all right, like
All right, that's cool.
everyone's like,
Yeah, and
"Just fucking
I
move,
think
yeah."
that they get that though. Like
Yeah.
that's a window into D4 where they realize like, oh, these skill synergies have to be a thing. You know, we can plant this big crystal in the middle of the room and shoot it. Like,
Right.
how cool is that? So,
Right.
I hope they have a lot of that in D4.
Yeah, and imagine like we talked about this a
Our
little
class
bit before.
synergies doing that.
Yeah, but imagine if you had your skills, right? So you got your 5-6 skills, and they all do something, like obviously. And then on top of that, they have some kind of interactivity with the environment. So it's like it does something else, kind of. And then imagine they have interactivity with each other. It's like you just like you have like what 6 factorial possibilities? Like it's crazy. That'd be
Yeah.
insane. It'd be so fun.
Yeah, and like a lot of games do these combo systems, and like a game that comes to mind for me right off the bat was Anthem. As much as it failed on a lot of things, it had a combo system where if you use primers and detonators, you could build up and combo off of things. Like you primed it with something, and then when you used your detonator, it did extra damage because you comboed it and set it up.
Right.
That would be cool, especially even in a group play, a group environment. Well, let's say like you're running a frost whiz. Let's say I'm running a fire whiz, and I have some kind of fire beam. You have the frost beam. If you freeze them, or like just some kind of shatter combos where we're working together,
Yeah.
I think that would take the group dynamic to the next level.
Yeah, it'd be
Allowing you to
fun.
do stuff like that. It's like I'm gonna run Frost Wiz and keep throwing down the big ice crystals, and you're like, all right, I got you. I'm gonna run, Arcane Wiz, and we're
Sure.
gonna use that to melt the group. Like,
Yeah.
how cool would that be?
Yeah.
Neither works by themselves,
Sure.
but together, it's just this crazy, like, oh shit,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down.
be fun. Be fun.
But yeah, you got, what is this thing? You got something on here?
Yeah, I saw this on Reddit.
What
I
is
saw this on Reddit, man, and I thought it was hilarious. I had to throw it in. This is the title says every time I see Moon Clan impalers, and that was it. That was like really it. It's just got a goat. If you're listening, you can't see. It's got a picture of a goat with a rocket and some lightning
Right.
bolts and fire, and I don't know what's going on, man. It's just a crazy.
It's not
EV
wrong.
goat.
It's not wrong.
It's not wrong, man.
At all.
Moon Clan impalers are the bane. So they hit so hard.
Harder
Like,
than Rift Guardians. Harder than Rift
yeah,
Guardians.
I don't understand
Doesn't make sense.
how the trash is more difficult than most of the guardians.
There's something way off balance with the rate at which range does damage and the rate at which you can increase like your mitigation like it's just thrown off whack. Like it's like in the GR80 realm even. It's like it starts to hit harder than like an RG.
They need to do some rebalancing. At the same time, it's like you can't have all the trash be a pushover, but I don't know. Balancing is such a hard thing,
Right.
to get right. Because if they nerf Moon Clan, then what are we going to complain about? Tongue lashers or leapers or
Sure.
whatever. And then
Lacoonies.
we're going to nerf those,
Right.
and then it's going to be like, all right, now it's
But we touched on a pretty
suckies.
decent solution where we just kind of reduce how many there are, or at least with like Moon Clans, like how the animation where they lock in place. If they locked in place,
Yeah.
it's a lot more
and
avoidable.
they were dodgeable, yeah.
Instead of them
Yeah,
being
limit
like,
the number
turrets.
or increase the cooldown on the throw
Right.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
No, 100%.
So I just thought that was funny.
Sure.
That's just a quick little meme.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing this a lot. I mean, we're going to switch topics. I mean, there's
Okay.
not a whole lot of D3 things going on. The season's been in play for a month now. So hopefully everybody's getting their grind on. But PoE's league started up last Friday, 2 Fridays ago.
Yeah, 2 Fridays ago.
2 Fridays ago. I've
Yeah.
seen more complaints about the connectivity.
Right.
I've never even heard connectivity issues about it, but I've seen my Twitter feeds full.
Sure.
People just complaining up a storm.
Yeah.
So what's your experiences, man? Tell me, give me your thoughts.
Sure. So
on
there's
the
actually
league.
like multiple things happening. So one of the things that's happening, so Cyclone, which is Whirlwind, basically, is just insanely powerful, this league. Like everyone and their mom's playing. I guarantee you, if you go over to PoE right now and you click like the first person or the top 10 people are all playing Cyclone. Like it's just insanely good. But the problem with Cyclone is there's some kind of like cheat detection that happens in PoE, which is great. But like it'll kick players out of the game saying they perform like too many actions per second or something. Because they're spinning so fast and they're like really, really strong. So the stronger you get, the more likely you are to get like kicked out because like it thinks you're cheating.
Kicking too much ass.
Right.
It's like you shouldn't be this powerful. No.
Right. So like Drapadewski, for example, he was getting kicked out like just constantly like the first few days. Another thing that's happening is I don't know if it's because of there's been a few theories, right? Like one is like PoE is insanely popular in this league. Like it was top 2 games on Twitch, which is insane. Just absolutely insane. Like Lyric was playing, like some big time streamers were playing it. And so like obviously the population has gone like through the roof. There's 3 servers in NA. So it's like they're getting hit pretty damn hard. But there's also like it's been opened up to Korea, and we all like the Koreans they're just an army of gamers, right? They're insane. And I guess their servers are kind of underperforming, and so a lot of them are like connecting to California. And so that's like lagging NA even more.
Like even worse.
But just to like it's like you walk around and your character like I'm not even exaggerating, every 2 seconds you stutter. Every 2 seconds. It is
rubber banding like
unplayable. But the only thing that makes it playable is Legion is that good. Like The mechanic for this league in Path of Exile, it's so good, and that's what's keeping people going. But it's like,
so what's the new thing? I thought it was like a melee buff. So like, what's the
Sure.
new mechanic then?
so the
what is
mechanic
it?
itself is the Legion. So like you'll touch like this pylon or obelisk, kind of like Breach, and it like poof, like your screen just fills like with full of mobs that are like frozen in time, like they're battling each other, but they're like frozen, and so you like you basically run around as fast as you can, and you like try to like delete their health, and then if you like delete their health, then when the timer runs out, you like fight all of them, all the ones you like freed.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
so like the goal is just like go around the screen as fast as you possibly can. So that's why Cyclone is insanely good, because you could like build your radius and like basically whirlwind your entire screen and move really fast. So it's like it's so stupid powerful. But yeah,
And then so
the
you kill all the
rewards.
things,
Yeah,
and then what do you get? So like you kill all the things, and like does a boss come out, or it's just like, okay, you killed them all, you're done?
it can. Like there's chances of certain mobs spawning, certain chests spawning, certain things spawning, and the rewards are just so good. Like they're just like, it's obviously currency, and currency is invaluable in PoE, but like you can get incubator items which can give you insane stuff, and it feels really good. And it's one of the few mechanics I feel like where, so say you're in red maps, which I know that probably doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but say you're in like the really late end game, and like you've run out of red maps to do, and you have to do some like lower tier content. Doing the new mechanic in the lower tier content still feels really good, and actually it feels like even a little bit better, because like the lower that content is, like the more the army you can kill, and like the more stuff you can get. So like it plays really well. Plus, obviously just the melee buffs. They've completely overhauled melee. It's insane. Like I can't say how crazy it is.
Does it mechanically feel better, or is it just like they buff damage numbers?
100%.
What does like animation look better? Like, it's
Animation
more
looks
fluid?
better. They made all the like the movement abilities like instant cast, so like they all feel like really good now. Before it was just, like you just build up your attack speed like crazy, and you could get them to feeling at a point where they felt okay, but like you had to build up so much attack speed to get the movement skills to feel like really good. I mean, now they all just feel good because they're all like instant. So like they sped up the game, which is amazing. And like this is the only league I can remember where you look at a ton of builds, and they added so many gems, so many skill gems. You look at a ton of builds, and you have like you're struggling. It's kind of like we talked about in Diablo. Imagine in Diablo you had to pick your legendary gems for your build.
Yeah.
And they were just like the
they're all
hardest
good.
choice. It's like, damn, like this is so hard. Like, oh, and this would be really good.
Like it wasn't instantly Bane of the Trap.
Yeah, 100%. And that's exactly what it's
Yeah.
like. And and this is the only time I can really remember, like, I am struggling to pick like my 6 slot. Like, it's so hard because there's just so many good things. So it's really cool, man. Like, I can't say enough good things about what they've done over there.
Except for the lag, so they got to get that fixed, or
Yeah, 100%. I
get
mean,
more servers.
if you were
is it still
hardcore,
bad even today? Like
Yes.
you were playing tonight,
Yeah.
so it's still
it was worse tonight than it's probably been ever for me. So I don't know what's going on over there.
all right. Well, let me know when it starts to get cleaned up. And
Yeah.
maybe I'll
And one thing I
that
wanted
way.
to kind of talk about, one of the things I wanted to address, and it's just something I see time and time again, and it drives me crazy. And I would love for like us to all band together and try to cure this as like a team, right? As a community, right? So you see a Diablo streamer playing PoE. The immediate assumption is that player isn't just like playing PoE because like it's enjoyable or something. It's like you fucking quit Diablo and now you're playing PoE. Like I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's like at the immediate assumption, it's like, oh, finally you've come to the realization it's a better game. Like finally you quit Diablo. Like it's insane. Like that's not what's going on. The new season or new league just came out and people want to play it. So like you shouldn't give the streamer a hard
weird
time playing the wrong ARPG, right?
I hear you, or any game in
Right.
general for that matter. Like I played Overwatch last night for the first time in forever. I don't know why. I'm just like, yeah, let's just do some Overwatch. Dude, I had a blast. I was like, dude, time went by so fast. So like, I've been jonesing Overwatch all day. I've been like, man, I kind of want to play more Overwatch. But it's the same thing. It's like, I think one of the one of the comments I got was like, "Oh, we're playing a game that gets content."
Right.
It's just like, yeah, like I think you get that no matter what you do.
Yeah, sure.
But I hear you, man. Support people. If you see your guys playing something else, go support them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just that. It's just like I just don't understand like why. I assume it's the same thing. Like, DatMods is the guy that like switches a lot, and I'm sure like as soon as he switches over to Diablo, people are like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And as soon as he switches back over to PvP, people are like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" Like, it's just they're not, to me. They're not like these rival games. They're different games, and they're both great.
Yeah.
So it's just.
I think people are salty still.
Yeah.
I think, as a Diablo player that doesn't play Path of Exile, I'm jealous of the content they get.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. So, I might manage it in a different way. Some people are probably like, "Oh, fuck this game. It gets content. I hate it."
Sure.
But I hear you. I've been branching out. So this is the only relation I can get. It's like I played a racing game called The Crew, The Crew 2, and it's a fun game. It's like they took a shot at making a racing game that was an MMO where you had to race people but grind loot. Like your car literally has like equipment slots, and you have to equip gear that's like green, blue, purple, yellow. And there's set bonuses and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, for a race car game, that's kind of cool. So I checked it out and I started playing it, and I enjoyed it, man. I had a great time playing it. Well, apparently Forza Horizon 4 is another game in this. Like it's like Diablo's PoE, right? And I'm playing The Crew, and every single day I played it, people would come in, "Yo, do you play Forza Horizon?" And I'm like, "Nope, never played it." "Oh, you should. It's so much better than this." And I'm like, "All right, cool, thanks." And like every single time I streamed it.
Sure.
And so finally, I was like, all right, it's included in that $1 Microsoft pass. So I signed up for that Microsoft Xbox pass to get, Sea of Thieves and all these games. And I checked it out, and I'm like, I don't like it more than The Crew. Like,
Sure.
the guys are just fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's not even the same style. Like it's like
Sure.
it's not the same. It's not the same game.
Yeah.
So people have their games, and they stick to them.
Right. Yeah.
So
Obviously.
But
yeah.
Speaking of the Xbox Pass, man, it's a pretty darn good deal. We got.
So?
I'm gonna promote this.
It's still console, right? Like.
No. So it's Xbox is starting this new thing. It's called Xbox Game Pass for PC, and it's in beta right now. And while it's in beta, it's $5 a month. The first month is $1.
Okay.
And you get a list of games. I'm trying to pull the list of games up. I didn't have it up. I'm going to their website right now just to pull this list of games up. So I signed up for the $1. I'm like, it's $1. I waste $1 on all kinds of stuff. Some of the games you get, like Metro Exodus, Wolfenstein, Ark Survival, Forza Horizon 4, Sea of Thieves. The list just goes. There's a bunch of like what I would consider indie-ish style games on there too. And then they're touting like all this new stuff.
A bunch of games I've never played, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. But if there's, on this list, if there's something that you wanted to try, you're like, oh, I've heard people talk good things about that. Let me check it out. Like Ark Survival is another game I've heard a lot of people talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, maybe someday.
It's like a dinosaur survival or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly haven't really played it. I just heard good things about it, but I've never really played it. So, but it's pretty cool, and it's $1. So
$1?
$1. It's like shit. You can't even rent. Remember? Did you when you were a kid? Your parents hated video games. My parents used to take me to the video store, and I used to rent Super Nintendo and Nintendo games. Did you ever do that?
Yeah.
You didn't have a console, so I assume not, right?
So I had a console by the time I was 9 or 10. Like I had saved up enough to get it, so I had a Super Nintendo, and my parents would go to Blockbuster sometimes when I would get to rent something. And I did the Blockbuster video game tournament in 1993 and 1994. But I didn't make it very far because it was Clay Fighter.
Yeah.
Clay Fighter was on there, and I couldn't rent a copy. I couldn't afford to buy a copy of Clay Fighter. And I actually went to the finals of the local And never playing Clay Fighter ever in my whole life.
What? Did you grow up in like a country town with like 5 kids?
No, man.
You
I
never
grew up in
played the
Kansas
game when
City.
you went to the finals?
I'm a fucking gamer, bro. But yeah.
That's it. So when I was a kid, there used to be like a local mom and shop spot. This was kind of before when did Blockbuster become huge? Like huge.
Like
I don't know, but
80s, right?
I don't
Early
know.
80s?
But there was definitely a local mom and pop shop that we went to that was like, it was huge. It was like, that these guys clearly made, their living for a long ass time doing
Right.
it. And they had like every Super Nintendo game like ever at their shop. And so on the weekends, man, my dad used to take me up there and he'd rent some movies and he'd always let me get a Super Nintendo game. So I used to try all kinds of different,
Sure.
games out.
Sure.
But I just remember that being the hot stuff, man.
Yeah.
For some reason, the only game I really remember renting is Goof Troop. I don't know why. Goof Troop on Super Nintendo.
The fuck?
I know,
Never
right?
played.
I like that game, though, man. It was a good game.
Did I tell you one thing? My dad didn't know about it. My mom did this thing for like a year and a half. Or if I got straight A's, I got a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like she would get a Super Nintendo game.
She'd like buy it for you? Okay.
Yeah.
With you.
Never got better grades in my whole life. And then my dad
Really?
found out. And he's like, oh, we got to put an end to that. Like he doesn't
He's
even
like,
play
"Fuck
video
that."
games. And grades went down the toilet.
Straight F's again, huh?
Straight F's again. Yeah.
So I finally found this list. Dead by Daylight's on there. I'm sure you've heard of that. They got Super Hot if you have VR, which I have an Oculus, so I might try that out soon. Borderlands, Batman Arkham Knight. It just goes on and on. Portal.
I'm bored already.
I know. Minecraft. You can get Minecraft.
Oh, yeah. I'm back
there
in.
it is. Game over. Minecraft.
Minecraft is a gateway drug
are they
for
making
Fortnite.
a VR
It's
or
a
something?
Gateway drug for Fortnite.
They're making a Minecraft VR.
Parents,
Where did I read this?
Don't let your
Somewhere.
kids play Minecraft. Next thing you know, they'll be playing Fortnite and watching Fortnite streamers.
Where are those games? Here, I'll drop that in chat real quick. Actually, I don't know if I can. Actually, yeah. There you go. There it is.
Great.
So,
Can we ban that
You're
link,
welcome.
guys? Thanks.
Apex Legends had some new stuff. Are you still playing that?
I
They had, like,
haven't. but
Dragons flying around, stealing loot boxes
I
and
don't
shit.
know. What the
I don't
hell's
know what's
on.
going on.
I haven't followed
dude.
at all. I need to see what's going on over there. I think they're coming out
There
with a
you
new
go.
class and everything.
And Nintendo is going to start doing a streaming service, or they're considering starting a streaming service. They're getting in the bandwagon
Why is
with
everyone
PlayStation
doing
and
this
Xbox. Fuck.
stream
I'm
service?
telling you, man, they're gonna push this shit on us, so we have to do it, man. And then, did we talk about last week how that directory, the artifact? I think it was artifact directory on Twitch was being flooded with porn. Did you see that?
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about that, but Twitch is like trying to sue those guys now, and they
Good.
don't know who it is. So they're like saying that they're like, we're suing them, but we don't know who they are. Like, how can you sue them if you don't know what's going on?
Who knows, man?
That's it.
Cool.
That's all I got, man. You want to hit up some Twitter
Yes.
questions? Let's do it. Let's do it. The first question we had today comes from Keyray. He says, does Diablo 4 need to be free to play to compete with PoE, or will Blizzard be okay charging a full price for it?
Wait, what was that?
Does Diablo 4 need to be free to play to compete with PoE, or will Blizzard be okay charging full price for it?
I mean, we heard the quarterly investment call, and they said we feel like people will pay for our titles. So I don't think we're going to see otherwise, unless Blizzard like breaks away from Activision somehow.
I think there's a stigma associated with free to play that it's a lesser quality game, that the game's not worthy of the money.
You think there's still that crowd out there, like after Fortnite?
I think
after
a little
Path of
bit.
Exile? It's crazy.
I think a little bit. Yeah. And I don't agree with it. I'm not saying that I feel that way. But I still think there's this just a little bit of stigmata that goes along with that.
Sure.
And I think Blizzard is like I think Blizzard will be one of the last companies to ever go free to play. I think free to play is going to be the thing. All games eventually are going to be free to play, or they're going to be Netflixed, where it's going to be a subscription based fee to play the games. But I don't think Diablo 4 needs to be free to play. I think Diablo has probably one of the biggest cult followings of any video game ever. And when Diablo 4 gets announced, man, it's going to be huge. It's going to be ridiculous. And as long as the game's good, it doesn't matter at all. So I think PoE is going to, if Blizzard does it right and Diablo 4 kills it like we all hope it does, I think all the other ARPGs are going to be like, oh shit, we got to go free to play or nobody's going to play our stuff.
Sure.
Luckily, PoE is already there, so they're okay. Hex says, would you rather dine out or order and eat dinner at home? I'm assuming this is like a date night
That's
thing.
tough, man. That's a good question. I gotta be honest. That's a good question. Because, like, when you eat at home, you can turn on something you've been wanting to watch. There's like no time wasted.
If it's date night, you could
Sure.
cuddle up, on the couch and eat your food, whatever.
But like if it's just the food, I mean, there's nothing that's gonna beat like eating it there, right? Like taking it home, like something's gonna get mushy or it's just not as good.
Fresh. Yeah.
So
Pet peeve time. If you order from Applebee's or TGI Fridays, like any of these like restaurants to go, they put your French fries in those little plastic boxes with the clear tops, like you know what I'm saying, like a hamburger and fries would be in there.
Yeah.
And all that moisture, that steam gets trapped inside that box, and you get soggy ass fries.
How do you transport fries without it getting soggy?
I don't know, but they get soggy. There's got to be a way. It's got to be a way.
Maybe we should start a company. I mean,
I know we gotta fry.
I don't even like fries, but obviously it's a huge demand product, so. Figure it out.
You don't like fries?
No, man. Fries are gross.
What?
Yeah. I'm weird.
Oh,
I know.
God.
I'm like the only American that doesn't like fries.
You don't like crispy, super fresh, out of the oil fries?
I'm not a big fan of
McDonald's
salt.
Fries?
I don't like
fresh McDonald's fries.
Or the potatoes are okay. Like I'm not a huge potato fan.
Baked potatoes? You don't like baked potatoes?
Oh God, baked potatoes
butter?
The worst.
Oh,
actually the worst.
My dude, what is going on right now? A baked potato, sour cream, put some bacon bits in there, some butter.
Of course you're gonna say bacon.
Man.
Of course you're gonna say bacon.
A little cheese. Yeah, you don't put sausage in a baked potato.
You could, and it'd be delicious.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna keep thinking of potato products for the rest of the podcast to see.
Hash browns, don't like them.
I'd have to say, on a date night, I'm gonna dine out. I think it's kind of the atmosphere.
Sure.
You don't have to clean the mess up. Is another bonus. Like if you eat at home, somehow you still make a mess. I don't know how, but you still do.
Sure.
So I prefer to eat out.
Right on.
Killboy says, do you think it's more likely that we get Diablo 4 at BlizzCon or an expansion for Diablo 3?
Neither. I mean, I think a Diablo 4 trailer at best.
I think that's what they're saying, like an announcement, not the actual game. I don't think anybody expects it at BlizzCon.
Right. I think
I would hope.
DNF4.
If you do, you're crazy.
I think that's much. I don't know, man. I would be just floored if we saw more stuff for Diablo 3.
I don't think we're gonna get. If we would have got Diablo 3 stuff, we would have got it last year.
And I feel like we would have gotten more leading up to that, right?
Yeah, something. When did Necro come out, man? Like, was it
just like
November 17?
September 17, October?
September 17. So it's been a solid 2 years since we got Necro. I mean,
Necro was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, it's been a long time.
Super long time.
I think all the Druid stuff that they talked about is it's weird. Like, where did somebody just randomly making shit up one day, or did it get canceled?
I mean, they left all these lore hints. Like, you can go back and you can watch.
Oh man!
Like Leviathan made a video on look like at
the
this
cryptic tweets and the stuff, man. It's like
woo. I mean, it's cool that the lore and stuff so well that you could identify that, but I'm like, what? So
yeah, I don't know the lore that well at all. But,
yeah, no.
I think it's more likely we're going to get Diablo 4 at this point. I think if they did an expansion for Diablo 3, it would have to revolutionize the game to
Yeah.
be worth the money, and that's a risk that may not pay off. Diablo 4 is going to make a money regardless, you know. So I think I think as an investment, it makes more sense for the D and the 4.
What if Diablo 3 expansion? Like let's just go down that road, okay?
Oh, okay.
Diablo 3 is getting expansion at BlizzCon. It's gonna have the Druid.
Okay.
It's introducing all new Act 6
stuff. So Act 6 campaign.
Yep. Some maps.
Okay.
You know.
And are we getting end game? Are we getting like adventure mode end game?
Nope.
So we're still doing Greater Rifts with the campaign.
Yep. New maps. Druid.
Okay. What's
Act 6.
thoughts on that?
Yeah.
I would be. My initial thought is that's not going to hold us over.
Sure.
A character class is the same as getting a new set. You're going to get new skills and stuff, but eventually it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be, I'm going to mash all my buttons because that's the way they design the skills. You're gonna mash 1, 2, 3, 4,
Sure.
left click, right click, and face roll XYZ Greater Rift. 120s, one whatever. There has to be a new activity, man. Greater Rifts are like fundamentally one of the coolest ideas that I think every video game is stolen from. WoW stole it.
Yeah.
I mean, every game has stolen Greater Rift concepting somehow. So, but it needs more. We got to have more things to do besides like, well, I'm gonna do Greater Rifts today.
Sure.
I'm gonna do Greater Rifts tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day.
100%.
So if it's just a campaign, it would be cool. I'd buy it. I'd play it. It'd be awesome for that, 3 or 4 hour session of campaign.
Sure.
And then, I'd be like, well, back to Greater Rifts, boys.
Back to the grind on Druid.
Yeah. So,
yeah. I'd be a little disappointed. I mean, I'd still obviously get it and play it, but I don't know. Like, I feel like we'd even have
last year. I was hyped. I was hyped for last year. I was ready for a D3 expansion. Like I thought we were gonna get one. I really goddamn, dude.
Guys, if you haven't watched like the past like the past podcasts, like go watch before BlizzCon. Like listen to ThaPChild talk like every week before BlizzCon. It's
no man.
hilarious.
It was. Hold on. I'll even give you guys dates if you want to go back. Got the calendar pulled up. So BlizzCon was on Saturday, November 1st. The podcast before that would have been Tuesday, the 27th of October. But yeah, I mean, you were on that hype train too, man. Don't throw it all on me.
Was off as soon. Like I was off so fast.
No, I mean the one before BlizzCon, I probably wasn't on it because they dropped that video or that announcement saying "pump the brakes," and at that moment, I knew like, oh, we're fucked,
Right.
So,
Sure.
but yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a D3 expansion anymore.
Yeah.
So, Zachary says, keeping with the E3 theme, if you guys could get any enhancement from Cyberpunk 2077 universe in real life, what upgrade would you get first? So, did you see the Cyberpunk trailers? Do you know at all what it's about?
I get it. It's
I get it a little bit too. Like I haven't watched it all, but it looks like you're in the future and you're augmenting your body with computer parts, enhancing your body. So what would be the first enhancement?
Fuck.
Like this is the first one.
It would have to be like
we all know what you would enhance, from the exclamation point.
Toxic, bro. No, I mean probably like my mouse arm.
Your mouse arm.
Right. So I could just be like unbeatable on FPS kind of thing.
Oh my gosh. I would do I think I would do eyes, man. I want like some Terminator style.
Yeah,
like,
but what are you gonna do with that? Like X-ray vision, you perv? Like what do you mean?
I mean maybe. Superman can see through.
You better be able
walls.
to turn it off. I'm just saying. We live in America, and a lot of that's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, probably. Like, could you do? Obviously, hopefully, you guys have seen The Matrix, where you, like, when Neo's like looking at the or not Neo, Trinity was looking at the helicopter, and he's like, "Can you fly that thing?" And she's like, "Not yet." And then they like put the little chip card
Yep.
in, and she's like,
Yeah.
and she can fly.
Do you want a flash
That'd be
drive
dope.
in your head? Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah, I want a flash drive in my head. You just like, done,
I'm down.
done.
That'd be down.
Sour Patch says, "Do you put your cups away facing up or down when you put them in the cabinet?"
That's a great fucking question. Great fucking question. I'm gonna let you answer this first.
There is a right way to put your cups away.
There is. I'm gonna tell you one thing.
I-
Lindsay does it the
Okay.
wrong way. She does it the wrong fucking way.
The wrong way. I put mine facing down.
Goddamn right you do.
Yeah,
Because
you
you're
put them
not
down,
a
dude.
fucking Neanderthal. Or just
You put them.
catches all the dust, all the crap in the room. Spider's like, hey, what's in here? Okay, let's get back out of there. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
They'll
Yep.
put them up.
you put them down always.
100%.
Always. Always.
God
The
damn.
last question that we got for the night comes from Summoner. Summoner says, "Do you always pick truth or do you pick dare?"
Truth. 100% of the time.
Yeah, it's always truth. Man, my kids love to play this game with me, man. They're like, "Dad, truth or dare, truth or dare." And I learned really quick, you always pick truth. And it's to the point now, like when they ask me, I'm like, truth or dare? And then I go, truth. And it's like, no, Dad, pick dare, pick dare.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
no, I'm not. I'm absolutely not picking dare.
No.
Because it's always the most ridiculous
Sure.
shit ever
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah. I'm truth every time. I got nothing to
Always
hide.
truth,
So it's like, they're always like, oh, I got a good question. Are you sure? I'm like, yeah. And they say it. I'm like, yeah. Oh, socks on, kind of thing. So.
Socks on. Yeah. 15 seconds average. So.
Yep. 100%.
Oh my gosh, that's it, guys. It's kind of a shorter, actually, like the time limit of the podcast. We don't have.
I mean, it's just
a lot of new.
allotted time. Like, this is what the podcast is supposed to be.
It's supposed to be an hour.
Right.
We always just go over. So
we're finally finishing on time. ThaPChild's got some PoE to play, guys. So he's got to get out of here. He's got some Legion.
it's too laggy, man. I can't take it.
Laggy.
Can't.
You wouldn't even
I
know,
tried.
probably.
I tried, and it was like every 2 seconds.
Wow.
It was lagging me out.
Man, you
Yeah.
too. Wow.
Yeah, every 2 seconds.
You're so in
Exactly.
touch. Are you going to try it this season, this league?
Yeah, I think I am. I am.
Okay.
So,
I'm proud of you.
how long does the league go? It's like 3 months, right?
yeah.
I mean,
A
the
lot more
league's not going to
static.
matter to me that much. I don't imagine, because I'm gonna have to learn the basics of the game. So
Yeah.
I don't think it matters when I jump in, it's gonna be the same kind
Yep.
of process.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I'm going to. I'm gonna, Diablo's fun still, but
Yeah.
it's at the point where I have to mix other things in to keep from burning out. So
Right. 100%.
like Overwatch, man,
Yeah.
had a good time.
I tell you what, I was playing Legion last night. And this doesn't happen a lot to me anymore. But I was playing Legion last night, and it was like I started right when I got off work. It was like 6 o'clock, 6:30. And I was playing, and I looked up at the clock, and it was 3 a.m. Like, literally.
Crazy, dude.
So, like, I didn't even, like,
Time flies.
go to the bathroom. Like, I just went,
You just went in your pants.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
I mean,
Just
that's
just go.
it's great. That's a great feeling when you're like,
Yeah,
just
it is.
super addicted.
And it's the same. It's the same for me. I bought Overwatch day one. I played, in the betas and all that shit. And I just like that game because you can jump in it, play it. You don't have to grind anything. You just play, you log out.
Yeah.
And so I jumped in last night, and it was like 3 hours went by like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh shit. Well, I need to go to bed.
Right.
So it's cool.
100%.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to give PoE a shot at some point, probably in the next month or so. I got a little
shit, boy.
a little list of things I want to finish up first. But
What build are you gonna play? I mean, well, like what? What do you think?
I don't have any idea, man. I don't know. I don't even know the classes, dude. I want to play some kind of like the cyclone thing you're talking about. Looks cool. I've seen people play that, obviously because that's the most.
Dumb.
It looks like to be the most.
You
popular
know, don't
right
do
now.
that. That's sellout shit. Don't.
But
don't.
it does actually
Cyclone.
look fun.
Sure.
Cyclone. All right, all right, what should I play? What do we got? What are my choices?
I mean, there's
What's
there's so much. Like
There's
there's
so
like
many.
I played like I really like Trickster. I played Solar and Trickster last league, and this league I'm playing Viper Strike, which is like a melee chaos. It's like the only melee chaos skill, and it's not that good, but it's cool like making your own build and and like
So
trying
you
to
made
get it.
shitty choices, and now you're trying to push them off on me.
No,
That's what it sounds
they're
like.
great
That's
choices.
what it sounds like.
No, the build
You
is
better give me
optimized.
like the
Bro,
most fun build to play. If
the
you're trying to
build
hook me on the
is
game,
solid, but the skill
But it
is
sucks.
slightly underperforming at this point compared to Cyclone, where it's just like, oh, I spun for like 3 rotations and the whole map's dead. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little research and pick some people's brains about what.
Sure, man.
I want something.
I would love.
I want some.
I want to
something
be a
that
part.
I think is the most fun.
I will help you. Like we'll have a night where we get on like Discord, and you're like,
Okay.
what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
All right.
What the
We'll
fuck
do
is
it.
this?
When we decide to do this, we'll schedule it out. We'll plan it out. Like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Friday night. We'll do it on a Friday night, and then we'll just hop in Discord. We'll group up. We can. It's got multiplayer. We can party up, and then you can just kind of.
And you guys can wait and see how long it takes for me to be like, shut the fuck up, Google it.
I'm like, wait, how do you get that cool spreadsheet thing in the game? Like, what do I look this up? How does this work?
Google it. Yeah.
Google it. All right, dudes. We will be back next week for episode 58.
Yeah.
68. Man, we've done
58.
a lot of episodes. Dude.
Really have.
We'll be back for 58. So thanks for enjoying the podcast. And if you want to catch more of me, my name is ThaPChild. You can catch me everywhere at ThaPChild.
Yeah. I'm Lord_Fluffy. Double those underscores on the Twitter or LordFluffy.com. Just booted up last week.
Oh, I saw that Streamlabs thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Anyways, guys,
All right.
we'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Peace.